Every single day, millions of players open games without asking themselves a simple question. Why am I doing this? Because of they are excited, because they have free time, not because of the game is calling their name. Not they open it because something feels wrong if they don't. A small notification lights up on the screen. A countdown timer reaches zero. A reward waits patiently, like it has been expecting them. This behavior is not random. It's not coincidence. It's not a bad habit you personally fail to control. It's engineered. Daily rewards are one of the most powerful psychological systems ever placed into modern games. They don't force you to play. They don't demand money. They simply wait. And over time, quietly turns game from something you choose into something you feel obligated to maintain. So today we are going to break down how daily rewards really works, why they feel impossible to ignore, and how they slowly transform entertainment into routines, pressure, and psychological depth. On the surface, daily rewards look harmless. You log in today, get coins, come back tomorrow, get more. Stay consistent, and the reward improves. The game frames this as generosity, as if the developers is thanking you for your loyalty, as if showing up alone deserves praises. At first, it feels good. You don't even play, you already progress. But here's the truth, daily rewards are not gifted, they are scheduled. The rewards themselves are usually insignificant. A small amount of currency, a temporary boost, a cosmetic item that changes nothing. The rewards were removed entirely. Most players wouldn't even miss their impact on the game. So why do they work? Because the reward isn't the point. Timing is. Daily reward teaches your brain a dangerous lesson. Logging in logging in equals progress, not skill, not effort, not enjoyment, just your presence. Game begins rewarding you simply for showing up, and once the presence becomes valuable, the absence become costly. The moment a streak appears, everything change. At first, you're logging in for rewards. After a few days, you're logging in to protect something. A number, a flame icon, a calendar with no breaks. Breaking a streak feels wrong, not logically, emotionally. You didn't lose real money, you didn't lose real progress, but your brain reacts as if you failed. This causes loss aversion. Psychologically, humans feel pain of losing something more strongly than the pleasure of gaining something new. Games exploit this perfectly. They don't offer any better rewards. They just need to threaten reset. The longer the streak grows, the heavier it feels. The missing a day starts to feel irresponsible, careless, even stressful at a point. At that point, you're no longer playing for enjoyment. You're playing to avoid loss. This is the moment the system stops behaving motivationally and starts being controlled. The daily rewards are perfectly synchronized with habit formation. The human brain loves patterns. When action happens at the same time every day, the brain automates it. At first, you remind yourself to log in, then a notification reminds you. Eventually, your body remembers that your mind doesn't. What your mind does. You open the game without thinking, you collect the reward, close it. No form required. These daily rewards exist even in boring games. Game no longer needs to be enjoyable. The habit sustain engagement in its own, and the critical shifts from unpredictable to unpredictable. Fun is unpredictable. The habits are stable. Once a habit forms, the game doesn't need to improve. It just needs not to interrupt the routine. That's why so many games feel stagnant, but players still remain. The system is no longer competing for attention. It already owns a slot in your day. Some games reward presence, other punishes absence. Miss one day and your streak resets. Miss 2 days and your progress feel erased. Miss 3 days and the game greets you like a disappointment. Broken icons, downgraded rewards, subtitle message that says you could have done better. The punishment is never severe. It doesn't need to be. It just needs to feel personal. The message becomes clear. Showing up is good, leaving is bad. At this stage, the game is no longer encouraging players. It enforces the compliance. You stop asking, "Do I want to play today?" and start asking, "Can I afford to miss today?" This is not entertainment. That is psychological pressure disguised as a bonus. The system isn't to mobile games. You see it in the system isn't limited to mobile games. You see it in MMOs with login bonuses, shooters with battle passes, and Roblox experience with daily spins. In casual games, competitive games and social games, different gens, same structure. The reward changes, the psychology doesn't. The reward itself barely matters. The routine is everything. Once daily rewards are introduced, the game no longer competes with other games. It competes with your habit, and the habit is very hard to break. Most players doesn't realize that they are trapped while the system is working. They realize when it breaks, they miss a streak, the streak resets, and something surprising happens. Nothing. The world doesn't end. The game doesn't push them in real life. The enjoyment doesn't suddenly disappear. The movement reveals the truth. The reward was never a prize. Attention was. The system didn't exist to help you. It existed to condition you. Once players see this clearly, daily rewards lose their power. Not because the system changed, but because awareness breaks the illusion. Daily rewards are not evil, they're manipulative. They don't ask you to play. They train you to feel uncomfortable and you don't. And once you understand how this works, something shifts. Stop logging in because a timer told you to. Stop protecting streaks that doesn't matter. You start playing when you actually want to play. And this difference is important because the moment you play by choices instead of obligations, the system loses control, and no daily rewards is more valuable than that.